And welcome back. One U.S. lawmaker is demanding answers as to why massive amounts of COVID funding was redirected to the border crisis. Take a listen.
Our staff's investigation found that $850 million out of the testing budget and another $850 million out of the allocation for the stockpile were instead used to deal with the crisis at the southern border.
Senator Susan Collins grilling officials over the reallocation of funds during a hearing on Capitol Hill yesterday. Her comments come as the nation continues to grapple with COVID testing shortages.
Talking about the border, some shocking new data from the Department of Homeland Security. According to the agency's report, more than 50,000 migrants failed to formally report to ICE officials after being released into the states with instructions to self-report between March and August last year. We'll bring a Newsmax contributor, former acting CBP Commissioner Mark Morgan on this. I'm sure he has some thoughts here. Mark, to dive in, the DHS report was issued in a response to an inquiry by Senator Ron Johnson, noting the number of illegal migrants unaccounted for is greater than half those released under the notice to report orders. What do you make of these numbers? Is this getting even more out of hand than it already was?
It is, John. Hey, look, thank goodness for senators like Senator Ron Johnson. Look, he was one of the star advocates that he really started under Operation Safe Return that really morphed into the Remain in Mexico program, which we know was one of the most successful programs to secure borders and reduce illegal immigration. But again, he's asking for more numbers. They're being slow rolled. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. This is only with the notice to report. And we've seen, and we called it before they started doing this, that the overwhelming majority wouldn't show up. But look, the notice to appear, which is what is traditionally provided, Sean, guess what? They don't show up either for that. So whether it's a notice to report or a notice to appear, the overwhelming amount of migrants ignore those and remain in this country illegally.
There's also preliminary data on this, too, border encounters for December. And it says this: border agents confronted just more than 174,000 illegal immigrants at the border and over 48,000 gotaways. This is from our Newsmax reporter, Jason Jones, or border reporter there. He's embedded with Texas Border Patrol there. And you're seeing it there on your screen. But these people, for those watching at home, these aren't just numbers. These are people. Mark, where are they going?
Yeah, that's exactly right, Sean. So look, there's two categories that and I really appreciate you doing this. Look, so the apprehensions, look, the first 12 months of this administration, we're looking at over 2 million. 2 million apprehension, and we know hundreds and hundreds of thousands have been intention released by this administration. And by the way, regardless of whether they have COVID or not, and they are shipped, and sometimes at the dead of night, into every state in this country. But in addition to that, because our borders are wide open, because agents are pulled off the line to process 2 million illegal aliens, that's where we get the gotaways. In the first 12 months of this administration, I conservatively estimate the gotaways at 600,000. That's larger than the entire state of Vermont. And guess where they're going? And to every town, city, and state in this country, Sean.
You know what? Some of them are getting a free trip to the Sunshine State. Doesn't sound too bad. But Florida's Governor Ron Desantis had something to say about that in his proposal for federal officials who dump illegal immigrants into the Sunshine State. Here's the governor.
Companies who are facilitating the movement of illegal aliens from the southern border to Florida should be held accountable, including by paying restitution to the state for all the costs they are imposing on our communities. I'm also requesting funds so that when the feds dump people here in Florida illegally, the state can reroute them to the states that have sanctuary policies.
Now, how about that? Your thoughts on the governor's response to it?
Well, two things, Sean. One, what that represents, what we've been saying, and you and I have talked about this before, is that the American people need to understand is what happens at the southwest border does not stay at the southwest border. The threats and the crisis that we are seeing right now impacts every single state in this country. Governor DeSantis gets this. He is absolutely correct. It's time that we need more states like the state of Texas and Missouri and Florida to step up and fill the gap that's being left by the failure of this administration to secure our borders and protect the American people. I applaud his efforts. We need more governors to step up like Governor DeSantis.
Mark, really quickly, just to point out, to take it a step further, if these illegal immigrants were going to find under the table jobs somewhere, and if they are employed, guess what that could mean? Wages decrease because they're spreading their money over in their company, and we're already in the middle of the highest inflation in 40 years. That can't bode well.
That's exactly right. Look, even some of the Republicans have this wrong. You are right, Sean. There's a large swath of the marginalized workers that have to compete with illegal aliens for lower wages. And there are companies that their bottom line is much higher when they have to compete with companies that pay lower wages. That's a fact. The Centers for Immigration Studies, I really encourage people to go to the website and look at that. You're absolutely correct. Another reason why we need to secure the border and stop illegal immigration.
We're staying on top of it. Mark Morgan there joining us live with his thoughts. Mark, always a pleasure. Thank you for coming on.
You bet. Thanks for having me.